Collier Motors presents the Coach Matt Griffith Show every Thursday morning during the high school football season. Coach, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Good to have you with us. And, man, you jump starting the season with Leeds tomorrow night. Yeah. Wow.
I apologize for my voice. We've been coaching hard, so usually when that happens, you start to lose your voice till you get used to being so loud on the field all the time. But yeah, we play tomorrow night at home. It's a big home game. It's against a state championship caliber 4A school that has great tradition. We're very excited about it. Sylacauga has not faced a Leeds since 1927.
Oh, wow.
I had to look that up just to see.
How old were you then?
I think Blackman was alive.
Yeah.
I was not. And but we're excited about it. You know, it's we call it 0 week because you have a choice to make this a jamboree or a full first game. We made it a full first game so that we'll have an open week during the season. And, the only thing is it's nerve-wracking because it's very difficult to get a football team ready in just 3 weeks and not 4 like a normal time period. Plus, when you lose as much as we've lost last year offensively again, there's a lot of gear and cogs that have to go together to make your offense work. And so, we're as anxious as everybody else to see how we're going to play tomorrow night.
Why a team like Leeds? I mean, they're no patsy for sure.
No, they're not. And, we've got to the point now in our program, in 5A and 4A ball, we're really not scared to play any teams. Mm-hmm. We feel our program's as strong as anybody else's. But what, like me and you were talking about off the air, is that sometimes it comes down to availability. You've got a 0 week open. You need a game. He's somebody, and nobody's got one open. And then all of a sudden, you hear Leeds has got a 0 week, and he's looking for a game. And you call each other up. And one of the first things out of his mouth was, people really don't like getting ready to play what we do offensively. It's very difficult to get ready for. You don't see it a lot, and we give you so many different versions of an option out of a spread game. And that's the first thing out of his mouth. He said, "Coach, I knew you was going to call. I heard you had a 0 week. We'll play." He said, "But I'm not looking forward to try to get ready for that in a 0 week." So, and we feel the same way. He's running a 3-3 stack defense that makes young linemen think too much. And so, we've got some concerns. But you know what? It's the first game. Everybody's undefeated, and you have to kick it off to see how kids will play.
14 years now at Sylacauga.
Yeah, like I said, everybody keeps reminding me. I don't know if that's they're proud that I've been here for 14 years, or that's a hint that that's long enough. I told the Rotary Club the other day, I said, you get to stay at a place 14 years for a couple of reasons. Either I really didn't make the wrong guy mad, or if I did, I've won enough games that it doesn't matter yet, or it may be a little of both. But my family and I have been very proud to be here for 14 years. We would like to continue to be here. We enjoy it. We've raised our kids here. We're raising the last one. He's in a sophomore year. And, Ren graduated from here. Natalie graduated from here. They don't remember another town. They were so little when we moved here. And, of course, Gray was 3, so he remembers nothing but Sylacauga. And I've got Sylacauga to thank for that. I've got a lot of people that made that happen and a lot of people that continue to make that happen.
Talk about fall camp heading into the Leeds game tomorrow night.
Well, it's been good. I think we're still making mistakes, but we have a very talented quarterback in Dalen Keith, and many people you remember if you watch that he was in a head-to-head competition with Keaton Wilson last year. We did not make that decision till 7-on-7s in July. It was that close. We moved him to a Z receiver. He caught almost 700 yards of balls last year. Phenomenal athlete. Very fast, very talented. He's had a good one. J.D. Deloach has had a very good behind him. That has made us feel good that we've got 2 quarterbacks at any time can run the offense. But, it's going to come down to this. We've got a brand new A-back in Journey Stockdale. We've got a brand new B-back in Jordan Ridgeway. When the lights come on, are we going to be okay? We've got every single lineman was replaced but one. When the lights come on, can they handle that intensity? Defensive front is still our defensive front. We're very pleased with them. Our linebacker, Chase Ivy. We've got some holes to fill in our outside linebackers. We're holding Rusty Kraft out. He has had a high hip pull that will probably be fine by next week, but we really want him to heal to get him the long haul this season. And so, Cole Porch has stepped up as a kicker. We feel pleased there, but he's never played, never kicked in a game, and there'll be some inconsistencies there as we get used to playing.
Bigger offensive front?
Very much, but we're much bigger up front on both sides of the football. We're excited about that. We think that gives us an advantage that we have not had in the past. But like I said, I'm as anxious to get this day over with and get tomorrow over with and kick this ball off Friday night to see how this group of kids will play. I can't stress that enough, that as a coach, you don't know till you play somebody else, and we've got some questions. Those questions will either be answered Friday night, or it will lead to more questions that have to be fixed.
And certainly, in 14 years, Sylacauga has been very successful under your leadership. You've surrounded yourself with a lot of guys of like thinking.
Sure.
With your staff.
Yeah, we have. The one thing about it is this, and I've shared this with some other folks too. We have a very much older staff that's been together a long time. Robbie Richardson's been with me all 14 years. Jeff Steers has been with me for 12 to 13 years. Barry Strickland's been with me 14 years. We've just been together a long time. Greg Lane down at the junior high has been with me for 14 years. We're a bunch of older men. Most of us are in, I'll be 50 in November. Everybody else is already in there. Derek Crawford's been with me 14 years. Everybody's in their early 50s. We hired Matt Collier 2 years ago that played quarterback for me as a younger guy. In the next 2 to 3 years, you will see me start to bring in some younger staff guys as the older guys are starting to get close to that retirement age. We really need a push for that if we're going to continue for Sylacauga to be successful. We've got to bring in some younger staff guys to be trained to keep the thing going. And plus, you never know when you hire a younger guy from another school, you might find another way to do something. Sure. You always want those new ideas. So we're going to need to do that in the next 3 to 5 years as the staff ages. But age can be a good thing. You need a good mixture of both. You need that wisdom to guide kids. They've had kids of their own. They know what kids are going through. And you need that younger guy that identifies with kids, because, as the generations gets older, we kind of lose touch of how kids do. And you need that younger guy to tell you, say, hey, coach, that ain't how he's thinking. He's thinking this way. And I know you're thinking that way, but that's 1987. People don't think that way anymore. So it's a good thing. We've got a good staff.
8 and 9 win seasons really is hugely successful at a lot of schools, but you're not satisfied there.
Well, I've never been satisfied. And, maybe I've been too public about not being satisfied. I think it's led to our public saying, well, you know what, we need to win.
We're not either.
We're not either. Maybe we need, this and that. And, I said it years ago when me and you, when we were sitting in front of one camera in a different building, we used to talk about, never complain about winning 7, 8 games in a high school football season. That's a successful year. And I'm going to tell you, the head coach at Briarwood taught me that, and he's been in it a long time. And Fred Yancey told me, he said, always when we hit 7 or 8 wins, we feel we've been successful. And then everything else is you're pushing for a state championship run. And we've just not gotten to that state championship run yet, but it's always on our mind. We're always planning for it. And we feel that it will come. You just got to have the right pieces.
Quick break, back with a final thought from Coach Matt Griffith right after this.
Coming soon, the all-new WFEB at 100.9 FM.
That's right, FM.
The all-new B101 will feature Sylacauga's best hits and all-time favorites. You'll hear Sylacauga Aggies football, the Alabama Crimson Tide, the best contests and promotions around, plus live and local programming from real people. Sylacauga's new favorite station is coming soon. WFEB is moving to 100.9 FM, the all-new B101.
Known as the Brown Bomber, Lafayette's Joe Louis is considered one of the greatest heavyweight boxing champions of all time. Louis was among the first African Americans to achieve national hero status in a white-dominated society. His 1938 defeat of German boxer Max Schmeling was a vivid refutation of Nazi Germany's official policy of white superiority and was celebrated throughout the nation. Following his service in World War II, Lewis went on to a career of 68 wins, 54 by knockout. He still holds the record for successfully defending his title more times than any other heavyweight boxer, and for his 27 championship bouts. Upon his death in 1981, President Ronald Reagan waived the requirements for burial at the Arlington National Cemetery so that Joe Louis could be buried with full military honors.
CallTheShield.com is the solution to pest and termite problems. APS shields your home from termite infestation, unwanted pests, mold and water intrusion, sagging floors, and unhealthy lawns. Visit CallTheShield.com to schedule your free evaluation. That's CallTheShield.com to schedule your free evaluation. Alabama Professional Services, protection for your home.
Final moment or two with Coach Matt Griffith, the head football coach and athletic director at Sylacauga High School. The Aggies set for Leeds tomorrow night. What concerns you about the Green Wave?
Athleticism. You know, you watch him on film from last year, and that's all we've got to go by. You know, he could have changed everything because he lost a bunch of seniors. He lost a bunch of kids. We don't know if he's changed his offense or changed his defense to suit his personnel, so we really don't know a lot about him besides, you know, Leeds is Leeds. You know, Leeds went through a drought. Then Keith Etheridge went in there, and Keith won 4 state championships before he moved on to Pell City for a little while. And now Keith's the head coach at T.R. Miller. And, you know, Leeds has very fast, big kids, and that's concerning. That they're used to winning. They know how to win. And, you know, we've got our hands full. There's no doubt. It is a good first test, I think, for both schools. And, you know, the biggest thing with us is he likes to throw the football and he likes to spread you out. Can we tackle in space? Because you got to be able to tackle in space. Can we do that? And offensively, with him stunning his linebackers and slanting his front, can we just come off the football and not be confused? And if we just do what we do very well, we will be fine. The biggest thing we've tried to preach to our kids is quit worrying about what they do and just worry about us. Do what we do and do it very well, and then let Leeds worry about us. Let's not us worry about Leeds.
Kick 7 o'clock, Legion Stadium tomorrow night, Sylacauga and the Leeds Green Wave. Coach, let's do it again next week. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thanks for having me.
All right, more Daybreak right after this.